news just broke that Steve Harvey was sleeping with Diddy for over 20 years, but this is where it gets weird. Because not only is his own daughter involved, but he was caught hinting at the entire situation years ago.
Steve Harvey allowed Sean Combs to date Lori Harvey, his stepdaughter, in order for freak-off footages not to be released.
Say baby oil! Baby oil! My hidden talents really can't be discussed on national television because it involves excessive amounts of baby oil.
Steve Harvey's freaky tale might be getting arrested any day from now, after major evidence of him at Diddy's freak-off parties leaked on the internet. Word on the street is that he even went as far as selling his daughter, Lori Harvey, to Diddy. Katt Williams already tried to warn us about Steve a while ago, but everyone said he was jealous of Steve. It turns out he was one of the only people who actually knew what was going on. Now, when it comes to Katt and Steve, their beef runs way deeper than just Steve's weird obsession with baby oil and freak-offs. Last year, when Katt showed up on Club Shay Shay, he dragged Steve so badly that Steve literally wanted to meet up and fight him in person. Yes, honey. Imagine scrolling through Hollywood Unlocked and seeing Steve and Katt throwing hands. That's how badly Katt got under his skin, but Katt didn't flinch and kept that same energy. Anyway, during his sit-down with Shannon, Katt called Steve a fraud and an industry plant. He said Steve was jealous of Bernie Mac and turned on him while he was alive, then had the nerve to steal Bernie's entire style once he passed to boost his own career. Katt also claimed Steve was swiping Mark Curry's jokes and passing them off as his own. According to Katt, Steve has zero talent and spent years lying about not wanting to be a movie star while secretly plotting Bernie's downfall, then jumped into his spot the second Bernie died.
The same Steve. Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to.
But Katt wasn't finished dragging him yet. He also exposed Steve for lying about being homeless just to get sympathy. Katt said Steve was never homeless, and that he was actually making $3,000 a night touring with Mark Curry during that time.
Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless.
People were definitely Team Katt and dragged Steve to filth. Steve tried playing it cool at first by posting generic clips about haters always talking, but 7 months later, he finally cracked and responded by threatening to knock Katt out.
Pity ass hater who is, and you'll never have a hater that's doing better than you. Always know that. Don't get off the wall to dress some pity any ass boy who ain't got going for himself. Now you done stopped your climb up on the wall so you can come down here and talk to his little punk. Don't do that, man. I stay away from it. Now, do I want to? Yes. Because I'm a human being and I'm hood. I used to be a fighter and I still got hands. They slow, but if you get up on me real close, I can still knock your monkey ass out. I just don't have the quickness I have. But I still know how to turn my hip and shift that weight, and I knock your short out. I your perm straight out your head.
Anyway, Katt never responded to that mess because Steve took 7 whole months to reply. But that doesn't mean Katt had nothing to say about Steve's alleged connection to Diddy's freak-offs. In fact, while we're on the topic of freak-offs, people did some digging on Steve after Katt's recent revelation, and they found multiple receipts of Steve seemingly admitting to being at the freak-offs with his wife, Marjorie. So basically, Steve Harvey had a segment in his TV show where he opened up to his audience about some of his activities in the bedroom. He admitted to using multiple bottles of baby oil when he's getting freaky because he likes how it feels to use the oil during those acts. I don't know about y'all, but this sounds exactly like what Diddy was accused of doing at those freak-offs. Steve even went as far as calling himself a baby oil professional. And the crazy thing is, he also likes the oil to be a little hot before using it. Guess who also likes his baby oil to be heated before using it for this exact purpose? Diddy.
It's just baby oil. All right. Praise the Lord, baby oil. Don't ever not include baby oil in your love life. You are missing one of the great inventions. Baby oil ain't really for babies. It's for your damn baby. It just go with everything. You can get baby oil on pizza. I done got it on pizza before. You taste it, you can't even hardly taste it. All around my mouth before. I don't even know it's on there.
Your favorite. Just for you.
Most people don't have a microwave in their bedroom. I've installed one because I need hot baby oil.
Steve then took it a step further to create a whole song talking about how baby oil is really for adults and not for babies. And the crazy part is, he posted this video of the song on TikTok back in 2020.
Baby oil, baby oil, baby oil, baby oil. Baby oil ain't really for babies. Baby oil, baby oil, baby oil, baby oil.
The signs were in our faces the entire time, and we still didn't catch on. But it gets even worse. Apparently, Steve was the reason Lori and Diddy dated. Yep, you heard that right, girl. The streets are saying Steve sold his daughter off to Diddy. So if y'all remember, Lori was linked to Diddy back in 2019, when she was 22 and he was pushing 50. And the crazy thing is, they weren't even trying to hide this nasty relationship. You'd think that Steve would be against this relationship since Diddy is literally his age mate, but he didn't. In fact, he and Marjorie tagged along and supported them. Now, to absolutely no one's surprise, this relationship was over in just 3 months. And according to sources, it was because Diddy wasn't in it for the long term. Lori unfollowed him on social media and moved on with her life. Mind you, prior to her messing with Diddy, she had also been linked to his son, Justin. But Lori clapped back in a 2023 E! News interview, basically denying ever having anything to do with Justin. She said, "It's so funny because I'm so quiet. There have been so many stories that have been made up about me. I've seen stories about me being fully in love with somebody and we have this whole relationship. And I'll see the guy and I'm like, I've actually never even met him before." She added, "I've heard I dated a father and son before. Absolutely not true. There have been a lot of stories and a lot of misconceptions about me. But get this. Word on the street is the real reason Steve allegedly allowed Diddy and his son to have their way with Lori is that Diddy threatened to release freak footage of Steve and Marjorie at his parties. Now, of course, I can't sit here and say this is true, especially since Lori has denied it, but people believe it's true. They claim that this is why Steve and Marjorie were tagging along everywhere Diddy went with Lori. Lori was allegedly being used to appease Diddy so he wouldn't destroy Steve. All this, coupled with the fact that Steve was talking about baby oil on national television, really makes it hard for people not to believe what Katt Williams said. In fact, when those videos of him glazing baby oil went viral, Steve and his team pulled some strings to have the videos taken down. A popular TikTok excluded receipts of this, accusing Steve of trying to silence him.
Steve Harvey is attempting to silence me right now. Everyone's got to look up Steve Harvey baby oil since he clearly doesn't want people looking that up. So Steve Harvey was facing a lot of criticism for being involved with Diddy and because he's weirdly obsessed with baby oil. I can't show it, look it up. I made a video covering that whole situation and it got a copyright strike against it. Now, the reason I got this strike is because Steve Harvey's team knows that those clips make him look really bad. Now, because it makes him look bad, they don't want people talking about it. And since he has a whole team behind him, he can make people stop talking about it. Now, I for one say that we start talking about it more since he clearly does not want us talking about it.
As I said before, I can't confirm if this is true or not because I obviously wasn't getting oiled up with them, but people believe it. And Steve's obvious obsession with the oil isn't making his case any better. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, Lori got with Diddy so that Steve could move and level up in the industry. Steve gave something to get something. She was out by Steve. Another person said, Steve doesn't care about Lori, let alone her mother Marjorie. Steve is all for himself, and so is Marjorie, but she's married to a man who's going to drop her quicker than you can say Jack Flash. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Katt Williams accusing Steve Harvey of being linked to Diddy? And do you really think Steve sold Lori out to Diddy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other, very messy video.